right. Thank you. Thank you.
You got a box over there?
I have, but I haven't looked at it.
It doesn't matter.
I can tell you one thing. I like the outcome.
She saw the scoreboard.
I saw the scoreboard. Oh, I
first of all,
know. Between my mascara and my hair.
Those who come in, please turn off your cell phones. Don't make me be the bad guy. Congratulations, Coach. Give us an overview, please.
Well, first and foremost, you know, this team has been resilient. This team has been a bunch of warriors, and we've been a faith-filled team. And I've always said, you know, through God all things are possible, and through God He's the one that strengthens us. And you know, I told him before the game today. I said, you know, when David looked at Goliath, he didn't see how big Goliath was. All he saw was how big his God was. And you know, we knew we had to come in and not just fight the good fight. We had a battle. We knew it was going to be a game of runs. We knew that no matter what, they were not going to go away. And I'd like to, at this point, also thank and congratulate Coach Kellogg. He has done an amazing job over at Stephen F. Austin and Robert, and what he's done with that athletic department in representing, again, the Southland Conference. Have quality players. Those players were a class act when we shook hands. There wasn't, they were upset, but there wasn't a bitter one, if I'm making sense of what I'm saying, and that's a class act on Stephen F.'s part. I'm grateful, I'm humbled, and with all of this going on, I don't know if it's really hit yet. And I even said, when I get in the media room, I really don't even know what I'm going to say. I said, I haven't looked at a stat sheet. I said, I know I like the points, I like the outcome. But anyway, it was a battle, and I'm going to shut up in a minute. But it came down to okay. It really came to, again, the adjustments on the defensive side of the basketball, and maybe you're going to get to that later. But my segue to that is about these kids, because I know it's about to turn over to that. The adjustment at halftime was a defense, arguably, that they had not seen before. Fundamentally, a part of what we're doing. And again, I'll get into the technical part of it later, but what's a testament to these kids, there wasn't any like, oh my gosh, what is this crazy coach doing? There was a complete buy-in. Not only was there a complete buy-in, those kids, like, if that's what we have to do, coach, not that those words were said, but the mentality was, if that's what we have to do, coach, that's what we'll do. And when we came out those first couple of possessions, that was it. And defense always travels. My Warriors, Dr. Clune, I have said a couple of times that we might be the Nicholls State Colonel's Warriors. I might add a mascot to our Nicholls State, right.
Let's open up for questions for the student athletes, please. Right here.
Petit and Marina, I mean, y'all the two seniors, y'all been through this whole thing. To end y'all senior careers, going to the NCAA tournament, just talk about that feeling.
Gosh.
You want to go first? We just knew we had to be poised as a team. This feeling is amazing. It's beautiful. We're blessed beyond words, and I wouldn't want to do it with any other team.
And also, piggyback off of Tia, like, this was the best team that we ever had. Like, the girls, our teammates, made our job easier as leaders, just getting them behind us and just fighting for one another and having each other's back. But everything all goes glory to God. So.
Okay. Next question. George, you have a question.
George with Southland.org. For each of the student athletes, quickly, you're sitting on a stage, you've got a net in your hair. Could you imagine that in January, the way you guys started the conference season?
Yes.
Yeah, good answer, Tia.
Yes. We knew a lot of people doubted us, and we came in preseason. We were picked ninth. We had a chip on our shoulders, and we knew this is what we came for.
Most definitely. I think I could imagine it. We went on like a losing streak as well as a winning streak, so it was just like we had to, I don't know, pick it up. Like, it was already doubted from the jump.
Yeah, from the beginning of the season, our motto was "we all we got." So, you know, we stuck together. We didn't care about what other people were saying, that we were ninth. We knew that we were the first place team, and that's what we proved today.
Yeah, starting off, we really struggled, as you can see, but like we had this one turnaround practice, and that was just the end of it. And as you see, it paid off in the end.
And this is how important this practice was. What day of the week was it, ladies?
Monday.
It was a good practice.
That was the worst, actually.
Ty, just talk about, you hit those back-to-back three-pointers in the third quarter. I mean, it seems like that was that spark that y'all needed. It. And every game seems y'all have that run, and that was the spark to that run that gave y'all the lead.
Halftime, I looked at the scoreboard, and I realized that only thing I had up there was 2 fouls. And going into the locker room, I thought hard, like, I'm not scoring, so what can I bring to the table? And, like, defense turned into offense.
Yep.
You're on your own now. I can't see.
And Cass, if you just talk about this, in the fourth quarter, y'all were able to, every time they made a charge at y'all had an answer. Just talk about what was the difference for y'all in the fourth quarter today.
Our defense, like she said, defense turns into offense. We can't win a game without getting stopped, so we knew that was our number one priority going into the fourth quarter. We needed to get stopped so we could score on the other end of the ball.
I want to know what was said at that first time out in the first period.
Do y'all even remember? It was pretty
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah.
I just remember it being intense.
Very.
I don't remember anything, to be honest.
Chris Mykowski, Southland.org. This is obviously something that all four of you have dreamed about since the day you first picked up basketball. Did the actual event live up to the dream, or was it even better?
Even better.
Even better.
It's undescribable. We could watch it on TV, and I watched the guys last night, and I just kept playing in mind if that was us, that was us. But coming out and actually being us, it's undescribable what it feels like.
Is this surreal?
Very.
Ladies, we're sitting up here. We're with nets in our hair. Okay?
Your alarm clock's still off, right?
Don't say that.
Okay, any more questions for the student athletes? Anybody out there? Anybody there? Thank you, ladies. We'll dance.
Thank you.
And Tia, remember the big nets, Mom. Okay. Yeah, take your name cards.
Dewey, you could answer this one before Marina leaves the room. Before you came in here, asked to be sure that she was on this dais with you today.
Yep. And
Tell me why that is, why it was so important for her to be up here with you today.
Marina is even though she's our 6'3" center, she's a very unassuming person. She is one that shies away from the limelight all the time. She has zero reason to be here other than her love for Nicholls, the community, and this program, because she graduated in 4 years and she had a very rough year last year. She tore her ACL as a senior. She was still on track to graduate, and she graduated. And she could have gone on with her life, but she chose Nicholls. And not only did she choose Nicholls, and she was battling an ACL injury, she lost her father last year also, Lorenza. I'm gonna get it. Lorenza. I know it ends in an A. Lorenza Lilly, and he was a big inspiration to her. He played for the Los Angeles Rams, and I remember when Marina was younger, and because of her personality, I'd get on her, but I'd have to come back with a positive real quick so I wouldn't lose her. But boy, her daddy would be waiting outside that arena, just ripping her to shreds on everything like I sort of softened the blow on. So he was an amazing man, but that's why it was that important that she was in this room today, because, she's Nick. Talk about an ambassador. I love you, girl. That's a long answer to a short question. That was a verbal hug.
Okay, more questions for
All right.
Coach, when you took over the program, Nicholls basketball, women's basketball, it was a complete rebuilding job. Just to see where you started to today, just talk about that feeling to get into the NCAA tournament.
Well, the minute I said yes to Nicholls, it wasn't about what Nicholls doesn't have or didn't have. it was about where Nicholls could be. And I saw the vision, and I believed that I could find special players, because it was going to take special players, because out of 364, 2, whatever it was, we were 600, whatever. I mean, 300, listen to me. We were the lowest RPI in the country when I took over the program. But what I saw in Nicholls was, first of all, a lot of universities talk about family. It's a family at that university. And it was important to me. I saw a vision that, I can focus on what they're going to give me and trust the process, and this is going to happen. And I don't know when, but I knew it was. And I was not leaving. And I recruited that first, in fact, my first verbal commitment at Nicholls showed up at the game tonight. Alicia Allen, one of the greats. I didn't know what it was like. I didn't have scholarships at Loyola. So to get an early verbal commitment, I'm like, oh, what is this? Now what do I do? Do we really get to keep her? But I was recruiting champions. And I recruited that championship vision to every single kid that's ever walked on campus. And we had some special ones that go through the past, and they led the path. They are so much a part of this. And I've always seen it, and wherever I've been, it's taken arguably, not very much to nothing in building it into something, but it has very little to do with me. It has everything to do with my faith, and then the incredible people I have around me, because no one person can do it on their own. If I don't have an incredible staff, if I don't have incredible players, if I don't have incredible managers, if those teachers and professors back there, and I'm not just saying it because he's in the room, from our president down to our administration, if we don't have that support, this doesn't happen. And I'm humbled that Nicholls, the community, believes in me, whether it's parents, me believing in their kids, or administration believing in representing their program. And that's always been my vision. And when it was going to happen, I don't know. I'd have liked it to happen several years ago, actually the first time I walked on campus. But at the end of the day, I knew it would.
Hey, Coach, Matt Samuels with the Baton Rouge Advocate. Congratulations. Just
thank you.
Talk about that moment, being on the ladder, confetti's falling from the sky, the music's playing, you're cutting down the nets. I mean, just what are you feeling at that moment? What's going through your head?
Humbled and grateful for every one of those people standing on the court, chanting, cheering, hugging my kids. I'm just grateful for the overwhelming support. It still really hasn't hit me yet. I'm right now, usually after one game, I'm thinking about game film and practice plan. I'll probably think about practice plan once I get on the bus, but we have another game to play. But, my family being able to be here, my father being a former student athlete himself, and my husband, and, both my kids who I've been very blessed with, just meant a lot to be here. So in that moment, it was so surreal. And not just the people on the court. When I tell you, I can't tell you how many people reached out to me, and I was up all night while I'm like, it's the night before a championship game, so what you going to do? You can't sleep. So I on purpose returned every text message, and there wasn't a one that I didn't ask for prayer and they didn't respond. We have it. So we have people praying for us all over the country. So it was good. It was just a very surreal moment. And I'm telling you, for the most part, it really hasn't hit me yet.
Coach, just talk about, when you talk to Teresa, she's been in this tournament, she knows what to expect. I guess you can ask her what it's like and all to be on the court for that game.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have my daughter coach me up. That's gonna be really good. No, it is a big stage, and I've had Teresa come talk to the team already. In fact, when we clinched the bye, she was at that Southeastern game, and she spoke to the players, and she gave a really strong message to the kids. But, going into this NCAA tournament, we are still going to approach this like it's not over. One of the things I told them in the locker room, was yesterday was great. And, it was a great feeling, very humbled and grateful. But we didn't come here just to get to the championship game. We came here to win the championship game. And I said, we have to deduce it just like this. This is another game on our schedule. Let's check the box. And that's how we're going to approach the NCAA tournament. Because, you know, you can't get too high, you can't get too low, and we're not going on a joyride. I mean, not sure what our seed's going to be, but at the end of the day, you know, we're going to be warriors. We're going to be fighting, and you know, I say I like our chances, but I have no idea who we're going to be playing.
Okay, one more. Okay.
Coach, I know it got up to a slow start, and it seems like throughout the tournament y'all had that run in. Y'all just talk about, you knew that run was coming when you knew, like it was going to happen.
Not only did I know that run was coming, and that these kids would be resilient and step up when the scenario is flipped, if you will. You know, there have been times that we're up, like, okay, they're going to come barreling back. You know, we have to keep, you know, our pedal to the metal or whatever it is we need to do. Either way, these kids are so astute to the runs of the game, because I think basketball and I don't mean to simplify the game, but, you know, it's about possessions, it's about rebounds, it's about not turning the ball over, it's about getting to the free throw line, and then it is a game of runs. If somebody's coming out and hitting 7 threes, they're not going to hit their next 7. Percentages-wise, it's just not going to happen. So these kids are very, very prepared in terms of it's a game of runs one way or another. And the fact that we have been prepared, and we've been in every scenario. I can't think of a scenario we haven't been in. So they were prepared. So it wasn't like, oh, here we go again. It was like, okay, now we got to amp it up. And amp it up they did.
Okay. Guys, thank you. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right.
Be watching this week?
Huh?
No, be watching.
Oh, yeah. We're ready.
There's television.
Oh, there's real television.